Today is Friday, September 22nd, 2017, and this is Generally Trivial.
Welcome to Generally Trivial, a conversation on the lighter side of current events.
Hello and welcome back to Generally Trivial, where we're going to take a walk on the lighter side of current events. I'm Jeff, one of the hosts here, and today with me is Oliver.
Hey guys, what's up?
Shawn.
Hey yo.
And Jordan.
Hello, hello.
I've been thinking about numbers a lot lately.
Like, what's your favorite number?
My favorite number is 7, but I haven't really been thinking about that number specifically. I've been thinking about the number 2.
Number 2.
Because this is our 2-year anniversary episode, so thank you guys for listening.
Woo, woo, woo!
Also about the number 96 billion, Bon Appetit on Twitter quoted as saying, the average millennial spends 96 billion on food. What they meant to say is
in
that
a lifetime?
Millennials equal $96 billion worth of food yearly.
Oh, so you're saying...
In a lifetime. How much... how do you think they're going to spend $96 billion in a lifetime?
On food. It's just food.
Just food.
We eat a lot of pizza and Starbucks.
How much money do you make in a year? Like $165,000, something like that?
Yeah, pretty much
Okay.
not that.
Well, multiply that by the 92 more years you have to live, and how close do you get to 96 billion?
Like,
No.
close.
Not close, Jordan. Not close.
It's a lot of yoo-hoos.
That is a lot of yoo-hoos and gummy bears and turtles, of course. Pumpkin spice.
It is a lot of pumpkin spice, and a lot of new millennial foods that I'm completely unaware of, that quinoa and some of those odd things.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, quinoa's nothing. You don't even want quinoa.
It's rice. That's all it is.
Well, okay, maybe, but that's like calling Limburger cheese. It's not really cheese. It's Limburger cheese.
Just cheese.
So what do you call cheddar cheese?
Cheese.
You know, that reminds me of a bone I have to pick with cheese, because I hate when places have queso, but then they call it queso. Like, it's just cheese. It's just cheese dip. Stop it.
Queso.
I think
Actually-
exceptions can be made for Mexican restaurants, though.
But what about the restaurants that aren't Mexican?
That's fair.
Yeah.
What, you mean like Taco Bell?
Yeah.
Taco Bell sells queso.
Yeah, like Taco Bell. I mean, I guess they call the tacos, but that's like the name of the food. Like, it's actually cheese here. We have a word for that.
It's true.
We don't have a word for taco.
Well, we also like to label certain hams Canadian bacon for no reason when Canadians call bacon and ham. Americans do dumb stuff so that they can market things.
You know, I find that intriguing and also compelling. I want to do dumb stuff someday.
Someday.
Hey guys, I just want to congratulate on your 2-year. You guys are great. I enjoy listening to you all the time, and you're definitely getting better as you go along. So thanks for the entertainment. Bye.
Hey Jeff, it's Neil from the Triviality Podcast, the podcast where lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. On behalf of Ken, Matt, Jeff, and myself, we just wanted to wish you and Generally Trivial a very happy congratulations on your 2-year anniversary. We're big fans of the show, and it was an honor to be on the show with you before, and we can't wait to have you on Triviality to answer some hopefully tough and easy questions. A little question for your listeners. I wonder if everyone knows what the anniversary gift is for 2 years, and there are 2 of them. I'll give you 1 second. Traditionally, it is supposed to be cotton, and in the modern theme, the 2nd year anniversary gift is supposed to be China. So we can't afford China because our Patreon numbers aren't up there where we want them yet, but we'd be glad to give you the shirt off of our backs because cotton is the fabric of our lives. So once again, thank you so much for putting out great content over the last 2 years. We wish you the very best for the next 2 years and beyond, however long you decide to do it. And we'll be right here listening at Triviality. So thank you once again, and congratulations.
Hey,
Did you hear?
did you hear about this one?
Did you hear?
Did you hear about this one?
All right, guys. Did you hear about the guy in Michigan who had his house broken into?
I did not.
I feel like that's a normal thing for certain parts of Michigan, but I didn't know about this one.
The specific one I'm speaking of is the guy in Granville, Michigan, named Brian Richards.
Oh my gosh, I know him.
Do you?
No, you don't.
Well, maybe not, but I tried.
So typically when somebody breaks into your house, what do they take? Money, electronics, valuables, other things like that?
Yeah, pretty much.
One time, our house got broken into, and they took our groceries.
Oh, wow.
I'm not kidding. Plus, I had turned like 7 or something, and I had my first communion, and I like had some money from that. They stole all my money and the groceries. I was so upset.
Jerks.
So mean.
So Brian had his house broken into, and none of the electronics are stolen, no cash, none of the other valuables, but something that Brian has collected since he was 5 years old was stolen.
Hold on.
Legos.
Oh no.
Yes,
That
Brian had
sucks.
over $7,000 worth of Legos that he's been collecting since he was 5.
I think it might be the same
house,
bandit.
The same bandit as what?
The one that got Jordan.
It probably was.
Because they went and got Legos, and for Jordan's house, they Legoed his ego. So-
So the local news station, Fox 17, came in and actually interviewed him over it. And the only thing that he really said was he kind of made the same joke, Jeff. He said, Lego my Legos.
It's so unfortunate that someone would just take... First of all, how many Legos would that be? We're talking like...
Either a bunch of old sets or just one like new Star Wars Death Star.
Yeah.
Okay, this is fair.
$7,000.
This is fair. But still, that's got to be like multiple trips, you know, like back and forth, unless you had like a Lego crane.
They brought the like special Lego carrying cases that you can buy with them. They just brought the cases and stole his Legos.
Or maybe he just built an addition onto the house with the Legos, and he's actually still there. You know, there are weird ways and weird stories people have when it comes to birth sometimes.
Birds?
Birth?
Birth.
Birds give birth.
Birds do sort of...
They lay eggs.
They lay eggs.
That's in a sense. Birth.
Right.
But the story I have is from New Jersey, and it's about 2 women who both had babies, and they were back-to-back days, which is, you know, the fact is back-to-back days already, you know, not impressive by any means, but means their kids are really close in age, obviously.
Yeah.
So the likelihood of things happening are super low. Have it happening in the same hospital would be even lower, so that, you know, you'd have even less of a chance of that type of thing happening. But they actually had a different place where these children were born. Both of them were born in a parking lot outside of the same Burger King.
Oh, wow.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Have it your
They
way,
make your
huh?
order your way.
Yeah, I don't know if it's any kind of gene therapy thing here, but they say they were called into the parking lot on Friday. The police were, and the parents were on the way to the hospital, but they got stuck on traffic. They had to pull over, and, you know, baby was coming. They had to get this thing done. Better to do it there than on the road.
Right.
So responders came, and the first parents had a healthy baby boy. And then the very next night, there was a report of another woman going into labor. So the couple was also heading to the hospital, and she started having severe contractions and had to pull over in a Burger King. So
my gosh, they were there for the cheesy tots. I just know it.
Yeah.
2 for $5 Whoppers.
2 for $5, you said? Man, I guess I'm going there after this. That's crazy that happened back to back. The same thing.
Yeah.
2 different people, right?
Nope. Same woman gave birth on 2 separate days.
Look, Shawn.
In the same parking lot.
Time travel exists, okay? That happened. It was the same one just twice. Same person, same parking lot.
It's time loop.
It was. You just don't know it yet.
I think I'm the one who said it, so I kind of know it.
Nope. Now, would you rather give birth in a parking lot or in a swimming pool?
Well, I mean, people already do kind of do water births, so I would think
people give birth in parking lots.
I don't think birth for me would work out either way. So
yeah.
Oh. Well, I would rather give birth in a swimming pool.
I think the chlorine would sting a little.
That's probably true.
Huh. Good point. I retract my statement. Parking lot sounds good to me.
Especially a Burger King parking lot, so you could just order food after.
Like, I'm hungry. Get me some onion rings with zesty sauce. Guys, I like going on vacation. Vacation's one of my favorite things.
Me too.
I thoroughly enjoy the beach, but also I like mountainscapes, like Denver, Colorado Springs, Albuquerque. Like, those are just really, really pretty. And, exercise is a good thing as well.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of people train in Denver for the altitude to help them compensate for oxygen, and just helps them learn to control their breathing and stuff, So anyways, did you all hear about the feces fiasco in Colorado Springs? What police
did not.
What police are terming the mad pooper is terrorizing Colorado Springs currently.
Okay. We normally do real life stories here on the show. I'm having a little bit of doubt on Jordan's story right now, but
what is the mad pooper accused of doing exactly?
Look, the mad pooper is a
allegedly
a female jogger. It's a soft J. She jogs around town. It's a new fad. And she does the same route all the time. She must be training for something, but supposedly she has been dropping drawers and using the sidewalk in front of the same house for weeks. Police think it's a targeted attack.
The same house, it has to be.
oh my gosh.
So I've got some quotes from this magnificent story, all right? There's a quote from a man named Buddy, Budde. We're going to call him Buddy. They're like, there's a lady taking a poo. So I came outside and I'm like, are you serious? Are you really taking a poo right here in front of my kids? She's like, yeah, sorry.
She said sorry. I don't see what the problem is.
Another person said, there's plenty of restrooms less than a block away from where she's targeting. This is intentional.
Targeting? My theory is that she's training for a marathon, and at the marathon there's a certain place where there's bathrooms. So she's got the distance worked out perfectly, and it just so happens that distance coincides with the spot where she's pooping.
It seriously might. Someone, I guess the article that I'm reading right now says that she's a world-class crapper. who who goes multiple times a day and therefore is looking for a little bit of variety.
But then wouldn't she poop at different places, not the same place every day?
But maybe she does use, and that is her variety. Maybe, I don't know, Shawn. No.
You guys, I'm looking to go world class in this event. I'm trying to get Generally Trivial to sponsor me. So in the future, please think of me when you're crapping.
Yeah, but you're never going to hit world class because you have too much Tetris going on while you're pooping.
Yeah, I'm more of an endurance pooper. That's what I aim for. Not so much speed.
Long term, huh?
Yeah.
To finish the story, though, what people are worried about is whether or not the Colorado Springs Police Department is actually ready for retaliatory poops. Like,
Those people are going to go poop on her door.
on her and light it on fire. We are not condoning any such act at all.
Don't tell me my business, devil woman. This one's out of control.
I figured it was suiting for our 2-year anniversary.
2-year anniversary, number 2.
Number 2.
So not that I have a way to transition from that. But story I found, apparently there was a man who, in Pennsylvania, he'd been drinking a little bit, and I don't personally drink, but I know a lot of people who drink don't like to drink alone. Well, this guy was kind of in the same boat. Shawn, a 39-year-old from Stewartstown, he's facing charges because he broke into a woman's house and refused to leave, but all he did was sit on her couch and drink. He just wanted somebody to drink with. That's all.
This guy seems like he needs a good friend, like someone that. No, he needs to go someplace where everyone knows his name.
But yeah, and the funny thing is that, to continue with the 2 theme, is that it was the second time that day that he had done the exact same thing. Earlier in the day, he had broken into another woman's house and sat on her couch with 2 12-packs of beer and refused to leave.
My question is, how did he get away with it the first time? Like, the cops were like, just don't do it again, you know? Or
yeah, I don't know if he just left the first time before the cops got there, because it doesn't say they arrested him the first time. So I don't know if he left then and then just went to somebody else's house and was like, well, it didn't work there. Maybe it'll work here.
Look, I think it actually did work. Bear with me here. I think it worked so well that he was like, people must be okay with it. This first person was like, yeah.
Apparently she didn't have a problem with it.
Exactly. So I think in fact it did work, which is why he did it again.
It worked once then.
Although,
yeah.
It technically did work out for him. He wasn't alone the rest of the night, probably. He had police with him, and then he went to jail. He had lots of company that evening.
This episode brought to you by that feeling you get when someone calls instead of texts. As you guys know, on September 12th, Apple unveiled 3 new iPhone models.
Trace.
With the new iPhone X running an astounding $999.
Pass.
In this version of higher or lower, I'll see if you can tell me whether the item I give you is priced higher or lower than the new iPhone X.
I have a question. Is it the iPhone X or is it the iPhone 10?
I think it's X. I think they're going to release a 10. It's not really relevant to this.
I really thought that they said it was an iPhone 10.
I didn't know.
So I will ask you guys all the same, higher or lower. I'll have you all answer and score you individually. The first item is the Robo R2. All of these are on Amazon, by the way.
Robo R2.
The Robo R2 High Performance Smart 3D Printer.
Oh.
Is it higher or lower than the new iPhone?
Is it like an R2D2?
That's what I was thinking.
Called the R2?
No, I think it's just a model. That's
They just
the model.
ripped it off.
R2 stands for really expensive.
Totally.
I'm going with more. It's higher. It is higher in cost.
I'll just be contrarian and say lower.
Of course you will, Shawn.
My guess is higher.
Yes.
So that is a point for Jordan.
I figured it
And
probably
Oliver.
was, but I didn't want us to all say higher.
The next item is the iBuyPower GTX 1050 Ti gaming computer desktop.
Can we get more initials in this contest? I don't feel like we had enough.
Look, you said it's the 1050 desktop. I think that's how much it cost. It's more.
Okay.
It's higher.
Sure, higher.
I'm going to go lower this time.
Oliver wins again.
What?
It is
Okay.
$629.99.
$629.99.
Yeah.
Commas or a decimal? Like 6.
Just a decimal.
Oh, okay.
The next one is 7 units of the Apple iPod Touch 16 gigabyte gold 6th generation.
How many units?
7.
7. I don't know, guys. What do you think? How much do you think an iPod goes for?
I don't know.
Look,
I'm not an Apple person,
I don't like.
You're more of a pear.
Yeah,
for sure.
I like cherries myself and Cavendish, which is a banana type.
Which Jordan didn't get right at trivia night.
I missed that question. However,
less.
Shawn,
Okay.
Oliver, what do you think, man?
Higher.
Give me a reason. I need to,
You're facing off against him.
and I want to win.
So he doesn't have to answer that.
Look, I'm going with Shawn.
You're saying lower?
I'm saying it's $1,000 even.
He's pushing.
Are you saying lower or higher?
Higher.
Higher.
That was not going with me.
It is higher. It's $1,113.
Oh,
You should probably bet with Oliver. He can actually afford all this stuff.
that's because in Canada everything is so much cheaper.
Next up is the Sonos 3.1 home theater system. Sonos has many different configurations. This is the 3.1 system. Is it higher or lower than the new iPhone?
I'm going to say lower. If it was the Apple in-home theater system, it would be higher, I'm sure. But
Lower.
I'm going to say lower.
Sonos sounds like some sort of knockoff brand, so I'm going with
It's
lower.
actually not.
Sonos is pretty well known, but
Yeah,
Not
they're-
known by me. It is lower.
all of you went lower, and all of you were wrong.
Oh, dang it!
I'm keeping the streak alive.
Keeping the streak alive.
So can we get a halftime update?
Well, there's only 2 left, so
So we're past halftime.
you're past halftime, but it's close enough, I guess. Oliver has 3, and Jordan has 2,
I cannot win.
and Shawn is incapable of winning.
With how many?
I have 0.
His 0.
There's 2 questions left. I'm going for the perfect.
In my experience, watch out for Shawn because he'll come back and win it somehow.
He'll steal your points.
The last one's worth 7 points.
The next one is a 14-karat center heart bridal engagement ring set.
Whole set?
The set.
The whole set. The 2. It's higher. It's higher.
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 Everyone scores.
Oh, Shawn,
I almost said lower just to be wrong. But
you ruined it.
All right. We are going to add some points to this final one because we were a fun show and we want to give everyone a chance.
But that's not fun.
No, that's fun.
It's super fun.
But the way...
Fun.
Let's see. Shawn, you're down by 3.
I'm down by 3.
So we'll make this one worth 4.
It's a 4-point question. So I'm going to say the opposite of Oliver just to try to win.
Right. So...
if you beat me on this, I'm going to have to mute my microphone. I'm just going to say that. Mute.
This is... It's dealing with Apple. So Steve Jobs, rest his soul. You know, he was the main dude of Apple, was.
Yeah.
So this is a biography called Steve Jobs in paperback. And how much would 162 copies of this paperback, large print by Walter Isaacson, is this higher or lower than the new iPhone? Oliver, why don't we go ahead and get you first and then Jordan?
162 copies?
Yes.
My guess is this is going to be either $998 or $1,000 even.
1,001.
I'm going higher.
Okay. Thomas Jordaniel.
I'm also going to go higher. I imagine the books cost around $10 a piece. So
I'm going to go lower just to be contrary.
And the answer is lower. It is $997.92.
no. All right.
You were right on the money, though, Oliver. You said $998.
And then he went higher.
Shawn just won.
Wrong buzzer.
Destroyed.
That works.
Jeez.
Give me a Ric Flair.
One more.
I called Shawn's win like 4 questions ago, by the way.
Gosh dang it.
You did.
I got
You did call
last
it.
again. I get last in everything I do.
I assumed when I said that I would just go the opposite of Oliver, that Jordan would do the same thing. So
Yeah.
that he would be.
Yeah, he had no way to beat me.
Right.
Same answer.
It's one more win for me.
And another loss to my record book. The blank.
The Museum of London says it's trying to acquire a chunk of the 130 metric ton mass of oil, fat, diapers, and baby wipes currently clogging one of the city's Victorian sewers. Claiming the fatberg from the sewer is blank.
My destiny.
My density.
It's crappy.
Heh.
Claiming the fatberg from the sewer is cellulite work.
Nice.
Nice.
As we all know, the new iPhone models were announced last week. The new tech involves facial recognition. Chinese vendors are already promoting face masks as ID protection. Donning a ski mask to check your Twitter feed is blank.
Dumb. It's just dumb.
I would say that donning a ski mask to check your Twitter feed is too time consuming and sweaty.
There's no use crying over spilled milk. A creek in the Kokomo, Indiana area turned white after it had 300 gallons of milk spilled into it. Milk doing a body of water good is blank.
Utterly ridiculous.
There it is.
They would count on Oliver for that.
I would say that milk doing a body of water good is pretty rare. It's like a 2% chance.
Work the 2 in there. Good job.
Milk doing a body of water good is fish fortifying.
A Japanese company is ready to roll out, or is it roll over, a new robot dog that will tell you how bad your feet smell. It'll bark if they're only mildly bad, and faint if they're very bad. Robo Rover sniffing your feet is blank.
It's a waste of money.
The dumbest thing I ever heard.
Okay, look, if you're saying that's a waste of money, then
Jordan is offended.
I'm so offended. What movie is that? With Macaulay Culkin in it. He's like a rich kid. Richie Rich. There we go. They had this smelling machine. They just put it in dog form.
They said that like this is a big deal in Japan because your feet smelling bad is like an offense. If
a dishonor.
Because you take your shoes off when you go to places.
People's houses.
So it's like a pretty big deal.
Robo Rover sniffing your feet is Rover rated.
There you go.
Robo Rover sniffing your feet is barking up the wrong tree because they could find another way to do this.
Agreed.
Right. Like a Pikachu.
Like a Pikachu.
And that means it's time for
Quick Hits!
A pathologist who was pulled over just south of Indianapolis was said to be carrying totes of human organs. What's the most precious cargo you've carried?
The airplane pilot can't say hundreds of people at one time.
They're precious, okay? They're so precious. But I would have to say a wedding ring.
My daughter.
That's not. Yeah, I was gonna go. I guess with my nieces.
Speaking of precious cargo, a Mississippi woman was apprehended for bank robbery after the taxi driver that took her home afterwards ID'd her. How would you convince the driver not to say anything?
Pay them off with Legos.
This is $7,000 worth of Legos. I will cut you in.
I will build you a new taxi.
You got kids? Yeah. Here you go. Merry Christmas.
What did she do? She was a robber? She was a thief?
Yeah.
Bank robbery.
Just hire a hitman to kill the taxi driver. With the money you just stole from the bank.
A different robber in northwest Indiana recently was caught by police after robbing a gas station, and then his car ran out of gas just a few miles down the road. What's something that you always forget?
To turn my car lights off.
We have had to jump you several times.
I've killed it 3 times this week.
That's actually the reason that I visited your apartment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Shawn, can you come jump me?
I was with Jeff, and you called him to come and jump your car.
Almost 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I've done it 3 times this week.
That's impressive.
Yep.
I always forget whatever I placed right by the door. Just whatever it is. I'm supposed to bring something to work or something to somebody's house.
Yeah.
That's what I forget.
Yep.
Yeah, my wife will call me at work and say, hey, bring something home. And I always forget.
I don't really forget anything because I'm awesome, but...
A house for sale in Michigan is advertising quiet neighbors as one of its selling points. It's undeniably true as the house sits next to a cemetery.
I saw that coming.
Give me a selling feature for your home.
What if a selling point was that Bigfoot lived in your backyard?
Is that it in your case?
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be a selling point for our own houses.
Well, I don't own a house.
You live in one?
Okay, fine. So, a good selling point for my house would be great walking trails.
I have really great neighbors. They've made me food several times just because they thought I was having a bad week.
I'd sell the other house.
That is awesome.
There's a park right down from my house. So if, say, you were out jogging and you had to take a dump, you wouldn't have to do it in somebody's front yard.
That is definitely a good selling point. On behalf of the other guys here, we really appreciate anyone who's been listening for any or all of the last 2 years. It's been pretty cool to have listener interaction, to have people listening to our show, consistently downloading it. I mean, that's really cool that
awesome.
They want to hear us yammer on about some funny current events. So we've got some ideas for the next year or so ahead, and things that we want to get done. So on the show today, we were Oliver.
Live long and prosper.
Shawn.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Jordan.
The captain is dead.
And I'm Jeff, and we are out. became a sparkler for a second.
Time to build some muscle downstairs.
Why does everybody
You would
get it
be
right
correct.
but me?
Hi guys, this is your favorite listener. My name's Fred, and I love you. I love your podcast, and I love you. So, bye.